This video will be doing the Tesla Model Y 2023 model tire rotations. Actually, it will be wheel with the tire on it will be rotated from front to back and from back to front. It's a pretty DIY task, and I'm going to show you how I have done it in my home on my own with bare minimum set of equipment. Of course, you will be requiring the pucks to raise the vehicle, and in addition to that, you'll be needing the float jack. So the pucks are built specifically for Model Y, and they go in this hole where you will raise the vehicle. So I'll show you how exactly the puck go in this. This is the part of the body or the frame actually at the bottom where you screw in or rather push in the puck. In my case, I have used the aluminum puck, and then I'm putting just a piece of rag on top of my jack so that the puck or the under body of the car does not get scratched. This is not required. I'm just trying to be a little bit more overprotective here. So once I have jacked the car a bit, it has not been raised from the ground. Uh, the reason I'm removing the tire or the wheel guards is because once I raise the entire vehicle and then I try to remove the lug nuts, then the wheels would be rotating. So to avoid that, I just started with a little bit of jack strength there, and then I started removing the wheel covers. So once I put the wheel covers aside, then I'm going to use a breaker bar to loosen the lug nuts. So what I'm doing here is going in the star pattern, losing or unscrewing the lug nuts. The Tesla says that you should not use at this stage the impact driver. So what I'm doing is loosening the lug nuts by using a breaker bar and socket 21 here for the lug nuts. So once those lug nuts have been loosened, I am jacking up the car, lifting it off the ground. You can see the wheel at the bottom right is getting lifted. The entire car is getting lifted. Here, instead of putting the car on multiple jacks, I have raised the car with just one 4-ton floor jack using the wheel puck. And now my son is showing that to check whether the car is really up in the air, you can just rotate the other wheel, because here the rear wheel you can obviously see by visual examination that it is up in the air, but the other wheel has to be in the air too, because we'll be rotating the wheels from front to bottom. So it's not going to be crisscross, it's going to be the front wheels going with the tire going in the rear, and the rear wheel and the tire coming in the front. So it's going to be a parallel rotation, I should say. So here I'm using a rigid impact driver. It has like a strength of 700 feet, I believe, uh, pound feet. It's so because since I have loosened the wheel lugs earlier, that's why it's easy for me to remove the lug nuts using the impact driver. Actually, I don't need it. I just wanted to quickly the, the entire process. That's why I'm using the impact driver here. So once I'm getting all the lug nuts out, I have left, as you might have seen, that I have left the top lug nut, because if I remove that one first, then the entire wheel, comes crashing down. So I am leaving that one to be unscrewed in the end. Now the tire with the wheel is out. So I'm going to do the same exact process on the front wheel using the rigid impact driver. So here you can see I'm again doing the same thing. I am removing the lug nuts from the front wheel one after another. Here you don't have to worry about going in the star pattern because tightening at the time of tightening the lug nuts, it is more important to use the star pattern. So now my son is helping me remove the wheel, although they look easy to be removed, but they are pretty heavy for one person. So if you're holding the impact driver as well as holding the wheel, I would suggest take somebody's help, or else the wheel may fall down on you. So here what we are doing is we have removed both the wheels, and in fact in between, which I didn't show, we went outside and we pressure washed the wheels from inside so that there is any dust or debris or anything. We have also cleaned, this is the opportunity when we cleaned the inside of the wheel. So now my son is helping hold the wheel along with the tire onto the screws, and I am now trying to screw the lug nuts. So again, you might see, notice here that the wheel is, kind of coming out. So I'll start with the topmost lug nut, just so that I can hold the wheel, and it's easier for me to install the other lug nuts. So here I have taken the socket 21, and on the socket I'm putting the lug nut, so it makes it easier for me to screw it. So I'm doing that one after another. You need a little bit of patience to be doing this, but then it's not a difficult job, especially considering that if you take your car to the shop, they will charge you between like 20 to 30 or sometimes more dollars to do that tire rotation. It's a simple process which can be done with the bare minimum set of equipment. Like as I mentioned, you just need an impact wrench. In fact, you can also do without an impact wrench. It's going to be a little bit more time consuming. But in my case, I had the impact wrench sitting at my home, so I made use of it. So what I'm doing here is that I have set the impact wrench to the lowest setting. So I'm not tightening, actually doing the final tightening here. It's just putting the lug nuts onto the wheel at this moment. So I'm showing that Tesla has recommended 129 foot-pound of torque, and here is a torque wrench where I have already set it to 129 foot-pounds. I'm installing the socket 21 there, and I'll be and now I have lowered the car onto the ground so that when I am tightening or doing the screw or the lug nut, then the entire wheel is not moving. So here you go in the star pattern. So as you see that I've tightened the first nut, and then I'm hearing the two clicks here, and I'm going back to the previous lug nut and then to the next one. Once I hear the click, I stop tightening it. The click is an indication that the required or set amount of torque has been reached. Again, as you can see here, the torque wrench is making the click, but I cannot because I'm doing the voiceover. But then trust me, this is all you need to tighten the. Once you have achieved the right kind of torque, using the star pattern, I generally try to make sure that all the nuts are still secure by going a circle pattern here. Once I'm sure that the wheel is in place, I have checked the torque twice. All you need to do is simply push the wheel cover on top. So the rear wheel is done, so I'm going to repeat the same process on the front one. Here again, I am torquing the front wheel, which used to be the rear wheel up until like 15 minutes ago. So again here I'm using the star pattern to tighten the wheel to 129 foot-pounds. This is a torque wrench which you can get from Harbor Freight. This is a half-inch torque wrench. I think when I bought it like a couple of years ago, I intended to do my own service on the car, like basic services. That's why I bought it. At that time, I think I bought it for 9.99. Now it must be like close to $20, but then it's worth it. If you do a couple of times, if you have a couple of cars at home, and if you do a couple of wheel rotations, like you have to do the wheel rotations every 6,000 miles or so. For Tesla, they suggest to do the wheel rotations every 6,500 miles. So again here, the torque on all the lug nuts have been checked twice. Now I am heading inside the car, and here in Tesla you have to go in the service. On the top right side it says reset. Click on reset and then select the tire type. Here I have chosen all season summer tire or summer tire. Then I pressed reset. It says now I think everything has been done. I'll show you the close-up. It says update complete, limit hard acceleration for first couple of miles. So this is all you need to do the tire rotation. So I've shown you the wheel rotation or wheel along with the tire or tire along with the wheel rotation from front to back and back to front because I have a rear wheel drive Model Y, so the motors are in the rear of it. So if you don't rotate the tire, the rear wheel would be, taking major amount of damage or wear.